Okay, this is Old Town Cottonwood, and as you can see, there's nobody here except for me. Hi, I'm Sam Pillsbury, and I'm going to show you what the inside of our tasting room looks like too. So here we go. This is our tasting room, which because of the pandemic is closed and empty. But I do have a surprise for you, because we're going to do a little piece today on one of our favorite wines with a couple of our favorite people. And it's all going to be about this baby here. And this is Cody Chasen Burgett.
Hello. Folks call me the wine mom.
Also known as.
Folks call me the wine mom.
And.
Hi, I'm Val. Welcome back, y'all.
And we're going to be doing a thing on our baby, Malvasia Bonnie Lee. Okay, guys.
Thank you for the intro, Sam.
Thank you.
Love having you behind the camera. Welcome, you guys, to another episode. We are going to be popping open our 2017 Malvasia Bianca, also named Bonnie Lee, after a beautiful human being who Sam met years ago and lived at our vineyard property down at the Pillsbury Vineyard in Wilcox. Sam, how did you meet Bonnie?
Bonnie came up to me one day when I was at a wine festival and introduced herself, and I knew about her because she was a journalist and she'd written a lot of wine stories about Arizona wines, and she'd written quite a lot about me, and I had never met her. And I couldn't understand how she's the only journalist who ever wrote about me that I hadn't met, never got anything wrong. And I said, how did you do that? And she said, I just copy down everything that you write on Facebook. And I said, where do you live? She says, oh, I house sit for people in Tucson. I don't have a home. I said, you are now permanently invited to live at the vineyard house. I won't pay you. You don't pay rent. You pour wine for people when they come and write and do your journalism. And we became fast friends from that point on.
I love it. I absolutely love it. We miss Bonnie around our team.
She's a good person. I met her once.
She had an issue with squamous cell carcinoma on her scalp for about a year, and it kept being treated. And then one day it metastasized, and she literally died about 15 days later. It was pretty shocking. So we made this wine, and just in time for the printer, I changed the label, and we now call it after her, Bonnie Lee.
Love it. Well, we've got this babe in a glass here, and this is our highest accolade that we've received from the Pillsbury wine label yet was that best of class. So what that means at the San Francisco Chronicle competition, that's our largest wine competition in the United States of America. All the Malvasia that would have been submitted that year, they felt that ours from the Pillsbury patch of dirt, as Sam likes to call it, was the best from everything submitted in the US, and it just floored all of us. But it is such a fantastic grape.
It is, and it's definitely, I think, one of Arizona's, if not the best white grape in Arizona. Viognier does some pretty good stuff here. Symphony does some pretty good stuff, but I think it's always outshone by the beauty that is Malvasia Bianca. And just, it's so weird that this is the grape for Arizona. It's so weird how it even got here to Arizona in the first place.
How did it get here? That's something I don't know if I have heard.
Oh gosh, that's a long story. I'll try to keep it short.
Cliff notes.
Cliff notes. This grape originally was grown in Greece and Turkey on the outskirts of Constantinople. When the Fourth Crusade came through, crashed the party, sacked Constantinople in 1204. They also took parts of Greece and not Cyprus, sorry, Crete.
You're okay.
And they brought this grape with them in the long run to Italy. Originally came from a place in Greece called Mole Malvasia, which was a Venetian port that the Venetians took from the Eastern Roman Empire, the Byzantines. Venetian wine traders actually traded in this grape so damn much that they were called Malvasias. From there, it eventually became one of the main grapes of Madeira. So if you've ever had a Malmsey, that's Malvasia from Madeira. Interesting note, Shakespeare says that the Duke of Clarence used it to, or I should say Richard III used it to murder the Duke of Clarence by drowning him in a barrel of Malmsey. All I can say is if I had a choice of ways to go,
Malmsey. I
So
did not know
Malvasia.
any of those
So
facts.
if you're looking
That's
for
why-
wine for a murder weapon, because we're all listening to true crime podcasts right now, this is my recommendation. And honestly, drowning in Malvasia is how I would choose to go.
Right?
Super fragrant, super floral. Oh my god, I just fucking love this nose.
Yeah,
Pardon my language. I'm the wine monk. I should be more pious.
Oh.
Yes, this wine is absolutely delightful.
An F-bomb has never scared this team, don't you worry. But I've done some of that reading myself. I didn't have all those details that you've got down. But,
Well, I drink and I know things.
but I also have read that it started as a red varietal, and now that red has been almost extinct for 100 years, is what I know.
So there's a number of different Malvasia varietals that stem from that grape. One of them is a red varietal known as Malvasia Niera. It's actually grown in some of the same places in Negromaro.
Okay.
And so you'll actually see Malvasia Niera Negromaro blends coming from that part of Italy and Puglia and Calabria, which is interesting because Negromaro grows here pretty well. I'm surprised no one's tried Malvasia Niera yet. But I still don't think it would be able to hold a candle to Bianca. And it doesn't. I've tasted it before, and this is just... And here in Arizona especially, it's like nowhere else in the world, and it just is so bright, so fragrant, so floral. You get all those elderflower characters, which I just love. Elderflower, jasmine, honeysuckle. It's like walking through a Persian garden at dawn, just still kissed with dew.
Ooh, I love that. I love that.
There's a little bit of honeydew
The
melon,
wine
a
monk,
little
y'all.
bit of anise.
Our life is so fun. This is what I love so much about what we do. And I invited my dear friend Cody here, the wine monk. I learn something every time we get together and geek out about wine. This is what I've been missing. Oh my gosh, I love it. I know that this is one of two varietals, if I'm right, at the Pillsbury Vineyard that did not originate in the Rhone Valley, France.
Correct.
My question for you, Sam, behind the camera, why did you choose to plant Malvasia as one of the varietals that's outside of the Rhone family?
Okay, really good question, because when I first planted vines in Cochise County in 2000 and went into partnership with Al Buell, who was the owner of Dos Cabezas. So I owned Dos Cabezas Vineyard and Wineworks with Al for about 6 years. And when I was originally talked to Al, actually we were talking on the phone before I'd actually met him, and I said I want to plant vines in Arizona. And he said, what kind of wines do you want to make? I said I want to make wine varieties, and I want to make an Arizona Chateauneuf de Pape. And this kind of stunned silence at the other end of the phone. And he said, that's what I want to do. So we ordered Syrah, Petit Syrah, Grenache, and Mourvedre. And then Al called me and he said, listen, would it be all right with you if we planted Malvasia? And I said, Malvasia, what's that? He said, oh, it's this really aromatic grape that we could use as a blender. And I said, okay, sure. So in the year 2000, we planted Malvasia at the Dos Cabezas Vineyard. And I think that was the first Malvasia planted in Arizona. I'm not sure. As far as I know, it was.
Pretty close to the first. I know there is a planting in the Verde Valley that dates to about the same period, and that was Rayfriedis.
Oh, yes, yes.
So that's about the same time. And then I want to say someone else was planting it around that same time. I want to say it may have been Kent.
Could have been.
Don't think Kent.
Sonoida
I don't
area?
think Kent's ever grown it. Anyway, look, it doesn't matter.
Someone was trying it in Sonoida back then. I don't know who.
The truth is, I didn't know what the hell it was.
Yeah.
And I thought I could see when I tasted it that it would be good as a blender because it was it's so intense. I thought it would be too intense to just make as a wine, as a varietal on its own. Not if you cultivate it properly. We're very careful in how we cultivate. We pick. As with all of our whites, we pick a little early. We don't use any new oak. We with all the aromatics that we grow and make, I actually fight the tendency to go really slutty with it, and have them have a little bit of residual sugar and some new oak and super ripeness to counter the qualities of them so that it won't overpower the food that we share it with. And this is
this is the most enjoyable that the 17 in this last few months. Before hopping on the camera here, Cody and I were talking a little bit already because we were too excited about our Malvasia session. And really some age on these does them well. If you guys are out there and you see an Arizona Malvasia 100% and it's a couple years old, please do not be scared like you might be of some other delicate whites and these connotations or these perceptions that we hold on to that a white won't hold up. This is a true example of a white with gorgeous notes
Malvasia
after
has
age.
one of those specific characters that works well for aging a white wine, and that's higher acidity.
Yeah, it's just like Rieslings. And yeah.
Like a Riesling, Malvasia holds up really well under time. This is starting to enter into that real sweet spot because you can get some of those underlying fruit characters. When a Malvasia is just a little wee baby, it's super floral, but as it ages, it gets sort of this honey, apple, apricot, honeydew melon character that just really starts to pump through. And at about 5 or 6 years of age, which this is getting close to, it's just that perfect combination of fruit and floral that's just, you kind of just want to lay down and sit on the balcony outside and just sip on this all day. Maybe get some pad thai.
Yes.
Maybe some shrimp scampi. Just light finger food, some sharp cheeses maybe.
I have to talk about my favorite Malvasia pairing. I did this on the last episode when we got all geeky about Morvet, but there was a dinner that Sam and I did in Prescott where we brought, it was a fall dinner, it was in November, and the people that we were working with kind of looked at us like we had lost our minds when we showed up at a fall dinner pairing and we had 4 white wines and 1 red to these heavy flavors on a dinner plate. But guess what? Malvasia 2015 that we brought along paired with a carrot and ginger soup with Indian spices was such a beautiful, pleasant experience and something that surprised me. I still was, I'm still a wee baby in wine industry. I don't know what pairings are going to do well, so I love those happy accidents. And it's something you think about and you try to duplicate, right?
Malvasia works really well for spicy food because of its intense floral aromatic character. So it's great for things that are hard to pair. Things like, Thai food, Indian food. Honestly, what I want to pair this with more than anything else, because I miss Mexican food right now.
Oh, hey.
Green chili chicken enchiladas.
Oh, there you go.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
This would be phenomenal with that, and just add a little bit of lime juice to the top and sit with this. That'd be perfect.
I love it. I love it. Well, a celebration of Malvasia. I'm going to put a little bit more in our glasses.
We need more in our glasses
here.
for this.
Just a tiny little touch to enjoy. Oh boy, this is beautiful. Well, we are really anxious for things to open back up and continue to do this with you folks coming to visit our space here in the tasting room. But in the meantime, we're going to keep on geeking out. We're going to keep on inviting beautiful friends that teach us so much and add so much.
I don't feel very beautiful today, but thank you.
You are a beautiful friend.
I didn't dress very nice. I should have worn my seersucker suit.
I set the clothing standard around here.
Right, exactly. So
I did bring, however, my official wine monk COVID mask.
You did.
With glasses
You sure
of wine.
did.
So.
And then I follow Sam's lead. I'm just here in a Pillsbury tank top. Don't mind me. But we're gonna.
Pillsbury looks really good in that Pillsbury tank top. It just really shows off his figure so well.
Right.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thank you guys.
Okay.
Love y'all.
Ciao.
Cheers.